Hey everybody, I'm Jim,
I'm Eric.
and this is Kicking It with Jim and Eric. Once again, we're back in the old saddle.
Back in the saddle again. Yeah.
Yep. I was going to go with a different genre, but that one works. We
Oh, you was thinking about some Aerosmith.
maybe Aerosmith.
No, man, it's no.
We're Cowboy Church.
We got to be Roy Rogers.
We're not a metal. We're not a metal band church.
No.
Are we? A rock church.
Yeah. Roy Rogers does Metallica or something.
Yeah. What happened last week? Why did we skip last week?
Because we had Thanksgiving dinner.
Oh, we had Thanksgiving dinner. Yeah, that's why. It was noisy.
It was and full.
We would have never made it through.
We would have never made it. Not in this building.
No, we would have been outside.
No, we would have had to been a couple of miles down the road.
Yeah, that's back when it was warm.
Yeah, it was warm.
A week ago.
Yeah. Seems like just last week.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's cold now.
Yeah, except in here it was hot.
Yeah, it got a little warm. That's because we was packed again.
It was good. It was good. Another good Sunday.
Yeah, it was.
Another good Sunday.
Yes.
Speaking of down the road,
Down the road.
we had what was it? The smooth
road.
The smooth road out of Exodus chapter 13.
That's right.
Was where we were.
Yes,
today.
we were.
And what a great little sermon coming out of the Old Testament.
Well, in verses 17, 18, all the way to 21, really, but those two verses in particular, when the Israelites had been set free from Egypt, when Pharaoh finally got tired of Moses and the Israelite people, he said, "Get your folks out of here." Mm-hmm. So they did, and God, in his infinite wisdom, knew that as they traveled on toward the Red Sea, that because they were they had never been out of Egypt. Now, remember, they were enslaved for 430 years, so they were taking each step on faith. God led them through the wilderness because he knew that the easy path, the smooth road, would be something that they weren't ready to handle yet. I mean, there was the Egyptian outpost was on that road. The Philistine army was there. There was a lot of things that would have, there was a lot of dangers that they weren't prepared for.
Right.
So God sent them around through the wilderness, which was, this is kind of a roundabout way to get to the same place, because of the things that he knew that they would face along the way. And
that's a message in itself, because a lot of times we don't understand. I think I heard one time if Moses would have walked directly straight to it, I think it was like 30 days.
Yeah. And
this took 40 years.
40 years.
I mean, that's a
long way around.
That's a reroute for sure, isn't it? So, I think that's a really good message because they didn't know what was ahead of them.
No.
And so many times we don't know what's ahead of us.
Yeah.
And kind of like what your message said this morning, is we just take one more step.
One more step.
Just one more step. Yeah. And sometimes we try not to question and ask, but why? Because it's just right there. Why can't we go just right there? Why do we have to go? I could understand after 40 years on a 30-day journey of asking a lot of why questions.
Yeah. Especially when their stomach started growling.
They were hungry. They were hangry.
They were hangry, yeah, and there was not much drinking water, and all they had to rely on was faith.
Yeah. But
God provided.
He did. Not
in a way that, God invented something for them to eat,
Yeah.
Manna from heaven. And there was there every day. But there was a lot of grumbling along the way. But I guess the point of the message this morning was that sometimes God will take us around something when he knows we're not prepared for it.
Yeah.
We don't know what tomorrow brings.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't know what the next corner of the road, the next turn of the road was going to, the wilderness, they weren't even on a road. They were in the wilderness.
Right.
They just, they didn't have any idea of what was going to happen next.
Mm-hmm.
So, just like us, all of us today, when we're trying to follow God and we're trying to do what God leads, which is hard because sometimes we don't know. We just have to trust that he's already been where he's taken us.
Right. You brought up a really good point this morning, talking about when you started in ministry 20 years ago. I mean, looking back now, it makes a lot more sense, I'm sure, as to why some of those events happen.
It does.
And especially in ministry where you think those problems won't arise because it's church and it's supposed to be all God, and
Yeah.
and there aren't going to be these big issues with the things.
Yeah.
Looking back, you probably have seen now some of the problems that you went through in the beginning was to get you prepared.
Oh, no doubt.
For bigger battles. It was almost like boot camp or basic training.
Definitely.
For what you're going to be facing now.
Because I can look back at some of the things that we went through early on, and I can say to myself, "Oh, I wish I'd have done that different," or I was not ready for that, or now I know better.
Mm-hmm.
So even you too, I mean, we've all grown spiritually. I mean, if you think back 20 years ago when we all kicked this thing off, how we would have handled situations, if those same situations would arise to us now, it really wouldn't be nothing,
Right.
I mean, back then it was a big deal because we were going down a path we'd never been on before.
It was all new.
Yeah, I mean, and we were completely unprepared for
Exactly.
a lot of the stuff that we went up against. So
one of the things that you had said, and I keep saying this, another good point from today, was you had talked about when you first got in this, you were playing on Saturday nights in the club.
Yeah.
We're both musicians. You were playing Saturday nights in the club, and then Sunday mornings, when and if you get out of bed,
exactly,
you'd play on Sunday mornings. So, one of the things that really hit me with that was you said eventually you had to give that up.
mm-hmm.
And I think it's a really good message because when you get ready to start to follow God fully,
Mm-hmm.
you have to give that other
You got
lifestyle
to.
up.
You
can't juggle both.
You can't serve two masters.
No. And that's what that was. And we know as musicians, those Saturday nights
Mm-hmm.
become a master.
Well, that's true. I mean, because we're divided. We're like that, like the scripture says. We were double-minded.
Mm-hmm.
We were trying to live in two worlds, and that don't work. I mean, you're either serving God or you're not.
Yeah.
You're either serving God all the way or you're not.
Yeah, it's very in or out.
Yeah, it's an in or out deal. There's no in between. So, am I saying that we're automatically going to be that way when we get saved? Are you going to get saved Sunday morning and wake up Monday morning and all that's behind you and you're just serving God? No, that's not how it happened with me,
Mm-hmm.
because I still struggled early on
with the transition.
With the transition, and that's what it is, a transformation. So, eventually, I did realize that I got to give this up.
Yeah.
Or walk away from God, one or two.
And I think, like, for my own personal journey was where I finally had to just say, wait, I can't keep doing this.
No.
And it's emotionally draining.
Oh.
And it caused me to doubt. It caused me to doubt God.
Yep.
And like you said this morning, it was easy. It would have been easy for you to say, this is entirely too much for me to handle.
Mm-hmm.
I'm out of here. Hey, God, I did it. Man,
Yeah.
I tried it.
Yeah.
I'm out.
Yeah. And unfortunately, if you don't have people around you to keep you hemmed in, that happens to a lot of people who
Are outside influences.
Yeah. Oh,
and,
yeah.
And I heard a guy. It was an older preacher, one of those
Mm-hmm.
bang the pulpit preachers. Yeah. One of the comments he made that someone had said, "Well, I don't want to give up the drinking."
Yeah.
And the preacher said, "Well, you won't have to. You'll want to. It's not that you're going to be forced to, but you're going to want to.
Yeah.
And it's not always just about the drinking, but you're not going to have to give up that lifestyle, but you're going to want to give up that lifestyle.
You can still do what you want to, but your want to's change.
Your want to's change, yeah. Your all your priorities and the things that we used to listen to, watch, joke with, the people that we hung around. Mm-hmm. I know some of my old people. I'm still friends with them. Mm-hmm. I'll always be friends with them. I'll be friendly to them, but I'm not in that circle no more. Yeah. And as much fun as I had with them, I don't want to be a part of it.
Well, let's go back to Exodus 13. And when God was leading the Israelite people, because it was a pillar of cloud by day, pillar of fire by night, when they were traveling through the wilderness and they were just following God, and all of a sudden they come to the Red Sea. Mm-hmm. Like, what's up with this? Now we got nowhere to go.
We did all this for this.
Yeah, we went through the wilderness, And here we are at a dead standstill,
Yeah.
And Pharaoh's army pouring down on top of us. But that's when God really showed his power and that he was in complete control of whatever situation comes up. Because, man, wouldn't you like to have been there when he parted the Red Sea?
And said, y'all, come on.
God.
I mean, to be able to watch just that much water. I'm fascinated with water and oceans and everything. So to imagine everything just going shoo.
Yeah. Wow.
And it didn't take 40 days for the water to recede. It just went shoo, and it was done.
And they stepped out on dry ground.
Yes. And back again, recapping is looking back and going, wait a minute, we made it through that trial, and we made it through that other trial, and now we're and we're going to make it through this one.
But that's not the way it was, though.
No.
Well, they forgot about all those trials that they went through, and they grumbled, and many times, God talked about remember when I delivered you from the Egyptians? Remember when I delivered you from the Red Sea? And they was like, oh, yeah.
Too busy focusing on what we can't do on the future trial and totally forget the trials that God has already brought us through.
Exactly.
And when we get through them, we look back and go, well, man, that maybe wasn't as big as what I thought it was going to be because God minimized it.
Okay, let's look at it like this right here. You said it made a good point right there. If we were to take our spiritual lives and equate them to what you read in the Old Testament, and what I mean by that is all through the Old Testament, all you hear is Israel did what was evil. Israel did what was good. God was always having to punish them. God was always having to make them straighten up and fly right. All throughout the Old Testament, it was just boom, just over and over again. If that's not the perfect illustration of grace and mercy, then I don't know what is. Because we're the same way. Right now, today, in 2025, sometimes we do things that please God, and sometimes we don't.
Right.
But he's always gracious, he's always merciful, and he's always forgiving if we have faith in Christ and what he did on the cross.
And when we look back on ourselves and go, how many times has God said, okay, one more time? He did it again.
He did it again.
And we are so much like that. Yeah. And I think so many times we take for granted the grace and mercy, and we forget, we forget the trials that we go through when we're facing a new one, but we also forget the grace and mercy that was given to us when we do a new sin or we fail God once again. I many times in my prayers I always say, I know I'm going to fail you. I know it's coming.
It's coming.
I wish it wasn't. Yeah, it's going to happen. Yeah. I mean, I could be blindfolded with earplugs, laying in bed, and I'm gonna fail God.
Yeah.
But that grace and mercy, repeated grace and mercy, is what gives me hope.
That's endless. Oh, thank God. His love endures forever. That's it. That could be a song right there.
There's got to be a song on there. We haven't done that one in a while.
We haven't done that one in a while. I'll write that one down for next week or whenever.
Yeah, the third week I think.
Yeah.
I got ahead of myself.
So I'm proud of our producer.
I'm really.
Producer Sandy's doing a great job.
She's even paying attention
to
us this week. She's listening this week.
She does listen every week. That's okay. You can say whatever you want to.
Yeah, we'll mic you up and throw you up here.
That's right.
Who?
Producer Sandy.
Producer Sandy needs to be on set. Was that a yes? It's hard to see back there. Y'all, listen, we hope that, as always, you enjoy the podcast. And if you ever want to kind of see the message and sermon that we get our podcast from, go back on our Facebook where you're probably more than likely watching this, and you can see our live stream of our sermon. We hope that if you are local to us in the northwest corner of Louisiana, southwest corner of Arkansas, or northeast corner of Texas, you stop by and visit us here in Vivian. I'm going to spit it out one way or another.
You got it, buddy.
Here in Vivian, Louisiana. And if you're not, of course, we always encourage you to watch us here. We appreciate you a whole bunch. And we're going to be back next week.
We're going to be back next week, yes.
Or like our old friend used to say, Lord willing, and the creek don't rise.
And the creek don't rise.
She used to say that a bunch every Sunday.
Yeah.
All right, y'all, I'm Jim.
I'm Eric.
And this is Kicking It with Jim and Eric.